Welcome to the Wellness Jocks radio and podcast show where pro athletes and wellness experts interact about wellness and weight loss. Our host, Russ Allen, and our guests bring expert insights and practical tips to help you live your optimal life. Their insights and inspiration to motivate and enhance your wellness journey. Whether you're looking to shed a few pounds, maintain your fitness, or revitalize your overall well-being, Wellness Jocks is here to guide you every step of the way. Now, the host of Wellness Jocks, Russ Allen.
Just to give you some more background. So the Vets Wellness Summit was, and I honestly, Mark, I don't know why I was driven to do it, but I did. And then I put together the event. The VA was all in. I had the secretary level, literally, and then some political crap got in the works, right? And then they backed out, which really hurt the attendance. And
of course it did.
So anyway, we persevered, and at that event, I decided, I want a community facility where veterans, first responders, and athletes can go through rehabilitative therapies together, because it's very inspiring. If the guy next to me played pro ball, and the guy next to me on the other side was a first responder, and I'm a veteran, one of the biggest things with veterans is obviously is the suicide rate, but it's also the collapsing of their community. When they step out of the military structure and that community that, implicitly is created as a result, and it doesn't work for everybody, but when they do, then they're isolated. And to your point, that, so anyway, I then worked with a physician and was able to secure the donation of a 8-acre, a $5 million, 80,000 square foot property building down in Arkansas. And there was a disagreement with the founders, and I opted out because of, anyway, it had a cannabis processing facility as part of it, and I didn't want to be part of that. So not that I have any problem with that, other than I didn't want a profit motive to be the basis for what I was doing. So I opted out. So on the plane, on the way home, the plane that I wasn't supposed to be on, I sat next to a serving Army young man who said, "What are you doing?" And I had this Vets Wellness Village, and you can go online and see the Vets Wellness Village. And I said, well, listen, I just had put this together, and I'm not going to participate going forward. Kind of a little bit disheartened, because it was kind of, a year and a half of work to get that done. He said, well, listen, there's a group in South Carolina. And my contact is with a retired cop and Mike McCarthy. So I got in touch with him. We had supper and got to know each other. And the organization is called OPFOB, Operation Patriot Forward Operating Base, OPFOB.org, right? And the founder, Roy Clark, anyway, they call him JR. And it's not Clark, his last name, Brown, Roy Brown Jr. JR was in the Middle East and came back and had his own issues, but mostly he saw that his friends, he lost more people here than he did there. And he knew personally 20 people who had committed suicide, which is like, so he took his military pension, his disability, took a one-time payment, and then used that money to buy a 250-acre parcel in South Carolina, which is now called, it's this incredible facility. And they do what I call active therapy. They have fishing, guns.
Is it still called the OPFOB?
.org. Yeah.
So what you're saying, in reality, if we want anything done right, don't let the government touch it. That's the truth.
Yeah,
look at our government. It's a disaster.
The thing is, we're a democracy and we're a republic. The bottom line is the individual initiative has to be part of our life. And the notion that the government's going to solve all our problems is fallacy. And the more it's sold, the less it works. Anything that is monopolistic isn't going to work. It's just not.
No. So I have a lot of veteran friends that have veteran organizations. When I was doing those hand cycling,
yeah,
a buddy of mine reached out. Another buddy that I met at Halo for Freedom, combat wounded veteran, shot in the back, paralyzed, spinal cord injury.
Mm.
Mike, he reached out and he's like, man, he's like, thank you for, you've been posting these pictures to do marathons, man. He's like, I dusted off my bike, man. I want to do a marathon with you. I need something to look forward to. Like,
absolutely.
I'm in a dark place. I'm not doing well. Like, I need a mission. And he started training. Oh my gosh, this kid, psycho, like crazy. He could do the marathon twice before I do it once, right?
Wow.
Like, and he became, like I said, he posting his trial practice runs. And I said, man, you got to stop because I can't keep up with you. Right? But what I learned from hanging out with a lot of veterans and working with organizations and veterans, and then you said first responders and football players.
Yes.
And the thing they all have in common is somebody else relies on them, right? That's how they function in life, right? That's what motivates them to keep going. So as soon as you take an individual out of a group that relies on him, he feels no value. That's why veterans take their lives, I feel, from what I see. And that's the same with a first responder, a police officer, or a medic or a firefighter. It's like,
it's more complex.
My brothers.
There is damage to the brain that results from a lot of their service, which exacerbates it. That creates a behavioral change. So you're not an embracing, warm person. That creates a further. It's just not one thing. It's having little that I know and exposure. I do know, and I was so at Berkeley, I was an exercise physiology and psychology major, the mind and the body, right?
Yeah.
And again, looking at my roommates and seeing there's nothing different about their hopes and aspirations and desires than what I have. And I'm fully able-bodied and so on. But I could see this is the reality. Now, a person who has had brain, their brain affected by their service experience and so on. Then on top of that, you add the isolation. On top of that, you add substance abuse. On top of that, you add pain. If I put myself in that circumstance, I'd be circling the drain. So one of the powerful things about your example and that of your wife, and your wife's name?
Nikki,
is that you have not let your disability define you. Your potential, your relationship, your view on life?
Yeah, no, that's, my wife doesn't care if you're disabled or not disabled. If you are a victim mentality, my wife doesn't want to be around people like that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in our community that like to play the victim. Right.
And even if they're able-bodied too.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of people playing victim.
So, a big part of my recovery in my life and my mental thinking is my mom raised me really as a single mom. My dad was there. He was a great dad. He was, they were divorced, but he went off and he was a pretty much a guy, you know what I mean? Did his thing, raced cars and did, whatever. But my mom, I watched struggle, work 3 jobs and push. This little Irish woman just pushed through everything in life. And, I'm like, if my mom could do that, like I could do anything, right? Like this little woman here is so powerful, so strong. Like I can do anything, and losing my leg is nothing, and I accept my life. My wife accepted her life, right? Like that's like acceptance is the first step. You got to move on.
Yep.
Right. I don't focus on my past. No. I don't focus on, my leg, because it doesn't change anything.
Right.
Right. It's never growing back. It's not coming back. So I focus on my future. Right. I look forward to what I can do, and what I can't do, I just have to figure out a different way to do it, adapt and adjust, and same with my wife. She's been doing that her whole life. And it's like, complaining about it and worrying, and that's where like I, with my faith, I believe with what put your anxieties, your stress, and your worries to Jesus, right? And let him carry that burden, because that's what he does.
Right.
And because it doesn't solve anything worrying about any of this. So you're just wasting energy and time.
Yes.
Nothing's going to change. So
Right.
I focus on my future and I focus on what I'm able to do.
You're listening to Wellness Jocks radio and podcast show. We'll be right back after the short break.
Are you on a weight loss journey and wondering if you're losing more than just pounds? At WellWeight, we know that weight loss isn't just about the scale. It's about your body composition. Did you know that popular weight loss medications, like GLP-1s, can result in significant muscle loss? While these medications may help you shed pounds, they can also reduce your strength and vitality. That's why understanding your body's unique makeup is essential. WellWeight helps you discover your ideal weight by focusing on what truly matters: your health, your composition, and your long-term goals. With cutting-edge insights and personalized tools, WellWeight empowers you to achieve sustainable results without compromising muscle or health. Take control of your journey today. Visit wellweight.com to learn how you can balance weight loss with muscle preservation and feel your best, inside and out. WellWeight. Transform your weight loss journey with knowledge and confidence.
Are you ready to take control of your health and tackle obesity head-on? At Tackle Obesity, we believe that with the right guidance and support, you can achieve your weight loss goals and lead a healthier, more fulfilling life. Our mission is to dramatically boost your odds of success by connecting you to a coach. With a dedicated coach by your side, you'll receive personalized guidance tailored to your unique needs, helping you make sustainable lifestyle changes. At Tackle Obesity, we emphasize setting realistic goals, making small, manageable changes to your diet and exercise routine, and being patient with yourself throughout the journey. Our community is here to support you every step of the way, offering motivation, inspiration, and accountability. Don't wait to start your transformation. Visit tackleobesity.com today to find your coach and join a community dedicated to helping you succeed. Together, we can tackle obesity and pave the way for a healthier future. Tackle Obesity, empowering you to achieve lasting health and wellness.
At Optimal Age, we believe that aging is a journey to be embraced, not a destination to be feared. Our mission is to enhance the health and well-being of seniors by offering a comprehensive range of specialized services tailored to meet your unique needs. Our offerings include J-Plasma Skin Tightening, a minimally invasive treatment that rejuvenates your skin, helping you look and feel younger. Regenerative medicine, innovative therapies designed to restore health and vitality, addressing various conditions to improve your quality of life. Cognitive renewal therapy, comprehensive programs aimed at enhancing memory, attention, and cognitive skills, supporting mental sharpness as you age. Advanced diagnostics, thorough assessments to identify health concerns early, allowing for personalized treatment plans. Age optimization treatments, customized approaches to help you maintain optimal health and independence. At Optimal Age, we envision a future where seniors are empowered to live their best lives, staying healthy, independent, and connected. Our dedicated team is here to support you every step of the way. Embrace the journey of aging with confidence and grace. Visit OptimalAge.com to learn more about how we can help you achieve your health and wellness goals. Optimal Age, enhancing the health and well-being of seniors.
Are you on a weight loss journey and wondering if you're losing more than just pounds? At WellWeight, we know that weight loss isn't just about the scale. It's about your body composition. Did you know that popular weight loss medications, like GLP-1s, can result in significant muscle loss? While these medications may help you shed pounds, they can also reduce your strength and vitality. That's why understanding your body's unique makeup is essential. WellWeight helps you discover your ideal weight by focusing on what truly matters: your health, your composition, and your long-term goals. With cutting-edge insights and personalized tools, WellWeight empowers you to achieve sustainable results without compromising muscle or health. Take control of your journey today. Visit wellweight.com to learn how you can balance weight loss with muscle preservation and feel your best, inside and out. WellWeight. Transform your weight loss journey with knowledge and confidence.
Mark, what you do is you serve others.
all day.
The number one thing in our lives, if we can do it, is to serve someone else. You want to feel good, do something good.
So I met Caden so first of all, like this kid's energy, I got on the bus right away. I was drawn to him. Just he's on the phone. He goes, boom, so-and-so's at this place right now. Blah, 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 blah. Like, and I'm like, that dude, I'm like, I turned to my buddy. I'm like, this kid's going to be the most successful kid that I've ever going to meet before he becomes the most successful kid in the world. Because he's put the work in, he doesn't stop, and he's very polite, carries himself like no other, right? Seems very educated. But it was his drive, his work ethic that I saw right off the bat. Just from the minute he opened his mouth, I was like, no problem. Like, and God and the Holy Spirit is telling me, like, this kid's the kid. Like, this dude, I got to talk to this guy. Kid. It was crazy because on Thursday I started feeling sick. Like it was 80 degrees that day, muggy, humid. And I mean, I just came from Boston, like 13 degrees, 3 degrees in our travels. Me and my wife, I was in Texas, it was 30s. I drove over. So when weather changed, my sinuses and my allergies get really bad. So I just kind of took it to being like, my nose is running, itching. I said, the temperature change is doing this to me. Thursday gets later and later, and Thursday night, and my throat's getting worse. And, but in between Thursday night and Thursday morning, where I started feeling this way, I had to take my buddy, Warrior Wishes, Craig, because he was a big part of the celebrity flag football game out at this high school, to this, like, more underserved community, right? Rough neighborhood school, but it was like a big thing for them and these kids. So he's like, Mark, I got to go over. I have 150 veterans and their families I need to get tickets to so they can go watch this game. Can you give me a ride over early so I can set up my table, do my thing, meet the people? I said, okay, Craig, I'll drive you over, right? Like, service others, like Jesus and God. Like, I don't, like, in weird ways he talks. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. Did I really want to, drive over all the way, like, outside the city? And I had other events that I had to be at, and I was supposed to be getting, but it's, again, stop being selfish, right?
Right.
So I said, I'll drive you, Craig. 100%. God, you're asking me, God's telling me, like, I got to serve others, right? Like, that's how I look at it. Sometimes you get lost. So I drive him over. He gets out. He's running over to set everything up. I'm not feeling well at all. Like,
Okay.
And I have a big event. We have the cigar party that night, the Dicka cigar party, and we're VIP, whatever. And I said, I think I'm going to go home. Literally, I'm sitting in the truck, parked. I just backed in, and I'm like, my body's hurting, my throat, my nose, my eyes. And I literally had this conversation out loud with myself. I'm like, how am I going to tell Craig? I'm like, I'll come back, or he can take an Uber. Like, I got to go lay down. Like, I need to rest to be able to make it through the rest of this weekend.
Yeah.
Right. And literally, I'm having this, I'm like, but I'm here. But you're already here. I'm like, Mark, you're literally having this conversation. I'm like, I'm freaking mentally, I'm crazy. Right. I'm like, I'm like, you're here. You're going to miss this opportunity. Like, I'm like, you know what? Suck it up. Go. I'm not joking. I get out. I get my wheelchair. I put it all together. I wheel up. I come in. Right when I get through the gates, I'm looking for a bathroom. And I said, oh, there it is. And I turn around and I trying to go to this porta potty. And this lady says, excuse me. I said, hey, how are you? She goes, good. I'm so sorry to stop you and ask you, but do you mind if I ask you a question? And I said, no, go ahead. My husband's recently double bilateral amputee. He's struggling, and is there anything that you could tell me to tell him to get him? And I said, first of all, accept the situation, right? Second of all, like, I always find faith, and she's like, yeah. She's like, thank you, and I'm like, and I said, and just focus on what you can do, not what you can't do, right? I said, number one, physical therapy. Put the work in. If you want results, you have to put the work in.
Yep.
And she's like, oh my gosh. I said, listen, I'll talk to your husband. He can call me. Here's my card. blah, 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 blah. You know, I said, I'll gladly get on a phone call with him and walk him through some stuff, anything I could point him in any direction. So I went, and she went her way. She goes, I got to go grab this chair. I got to get back. I volunteered today, you know, with the school. So I go I go use the restroom, and I'm like, God, man, God just showed me, like he didn't waste any time to remind me why you're here. Right.
Right.
Literally, as I walked in, the first person I came in contact with, she's like, hey, my husband needs help. So I came out, and I'd just been listening to some stuff, and it was, you know, when two people pray, it gets answered, right? Like, it's not, it's weird. What I was just listening to, I listened to different stuff, right? And it was something that came on my feed on my Instagram. And I came out and I said, hey, real quick, I said, somebody must have been praying for you, your husband, or me. I said, because we were meant to meet, because I was about to leave.
Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit literally told me, stop being selfish and follow your journey that is to what it is to be, what we designed. And I said, she goes, my husband's a pastor. And I said, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, we pray every day. And we prayed this morning for help. She said, I'm not supposed to be here today. I said, I'm not supposed to be here. She goes, no, I'm not either. I'm like, but we both know we were supposed to be here. Right.
Yeah.
And she said she was looking at the list of volunteers and nobody was signing up for this event. And she said, our kids really need this. She said, I'm supposed to be at home taking care of my husband who has dialysis tomorrow morning. She's like, and I have a whole prep routine for his dialysis that we do. But I told him he needed to figure it out without me because I needed to be there. And I volunteered and I said, me and my husband will figure out his prep and his dialysis, but I'm going to go and volunteer.
So she went and served somebody else, and right?
Yes.
It's amazing.
And I went serve and
yeah, exactly.
It was literally, he wasted no time to tell us why we were there.
Well, if I can step in here for a minute, I appreciate the kind words, Mark, and it's always just so great seeing how God works in all of these beautiful ways, and even taking this a layer back further with mine and Russ's situation with Richard passing away. That he was our connection to one another. Richard was a very big man of faith, and I am myself. And I remember at the beginning of this year when I didn't really know Russ as well as I do right now. And Richard had just passed away. He was my mentor, had helped me in this field. I'm only 20 years old. I'm a junior, and God has blessed me with so many great opportunities in this field. And having Richard taken away from me, a person that I could lean on, a person that I could talk with about everything so much deeper than just sports and what we did together. Like, it was like earth shattering for me at only 20, and I'd never lost anybody in my life. And I'm sitting here at the beginning of the year thinking, man, I'm not going to be able to get back to the Super Bowl. I don't know what it's going to happen. I remember talking with my uncle, and he's like, man, Jesus will make a way for it to happen. And that's exactly what happened. And now looking at this story, talking with you and talking with Russ and sharing all of these beautiful testimonies, like it's so crazy to hear. And I think as an able-bodied person, and as a person who can wake up every single day and pray and thank Jesus for this great life that I have, I look at your story and take inspiration from it. Truly, I see so many people on a daily basis that are constantly complaining about the situation that they're in, and I always think back this great video I saw. It's like, you have no clue how many people are sitting in a hospital right now wishing they could trade places with you. You have no clue. And I think it's so incredible with your story, with the mindset that you take, with the perseverance that you take, looking at you and your wife's relationship, just continuing to get up every single day. Like, you don't hear these types of stories. And that's why I was getting frustrated for you earlier when you were talking about how you went 3.5 years without getting the proper resources, the proper treatment. It's like, why are there not more opportunities and more resources for these people? That's why I'm so excited about the Marc Network. But I look at all of these testimonies and all of these stories, and it's like, man, God is so good. God is so good.
It's
Really good.
It's amazing when you open your eyes and you're willing to see his work every day. It's all around us on a continuous basis. I was on an airplane and this guy sits down next to me, and I was already not in a good mood because I was supposed to be in row 3 aisle. They moved me up to row 1 with the bulkhead, which I can't put my left leg, I can't stretch it out, and I need to. So, and I was going to go say something, but I'm like, somebody else is sitting there. They replaced me. They thought they were helping me by moving me up because I was going to be in my own row instead of having somebody in my row, but I didn't want to be in that. I'd rather have people next to me than I'd be in the front, but they didn't know that. Whatever. This last second, a gentleman jumped on the plane, Ron, and he's like, "Hey man, are you a veteran? Can I thank you for your service?" And the whole story goes on, and we talk. And he starts spilling all these guts, and he's running Boston Marathon. He's like, "Can I run in your honor?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, I'm just trying to relax, and he's bugging me, right? And he's talking to me, and he's getting anxious, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, like there has to be some reason that like he's here and he's tapping me, talking to me, God, like. So I start just listening to him, and he's going on, and he's opening up more, and he's talking about how his first marathon that he ran. I said, why did you get into running? And he was going through, so he ended up like, I don't want to tell you this, but he's like, I'm going through a divorce, right? And I'm like, I've been there, bro, blah, 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 blah. He's like, what do you recommend? So I started giving him advice. Just focus on your children, put your children first, no matter what, right? And he's like, okay, whatever. But he started walking and walking and walking. And then he started like having these the Holy Spirit started talking to him, and he's walking 20 miles. Then he's jogging. Right now, his buddy's like, dude, you're walking, you're posting, you're talking. He's like, do a marathon with me. He's like, nah, I won't do a marathon. He's like, come on, buddy, let's do the Chicago Marathon together. Right. So this guy, he has no idea what's happening in his life. And he's just starting to like, things are starting to be weird, right? In his mind, weird. And he's telling me, and he's just weird. I'm letting him just go on. And he's like, man, I'm on Facebook, and here comes an advertisement for the Chicago Marathon. My dad's birthday. He just lost his dad the year before. And what he had just made amends with his dad. Him and his dad didn't have a great relationship, but he just forgave his dad right before his dad passed. And then now here's his buddy hounding him. He's going through this divorce, right? Like, this is all a part of God's plan. And he has no idea, right? Because he's not in that realm yet, right?
Right.
He now has retired to go serve God, right? Like crazy, like 5 years later. Right. So so he's telling me all this stuff, and he's, I'm just laughing because like, I know it's all a part of God's plan.
Yeah.
How he started walking because of some trials in his life that led his friend to start talking him into trying to do the Chicago Marathon. Just happens to be Chicago Marathon's on his dad's birthday. So he does the Chicago Marathon. He meets these great people that invite him to do another marathon. So he's like, why not? They're good people. I'll do it with them. Right. And now it just keeps connecting, and then his faith starts growing. And and then me and him, I get into the religious part, and he's like, I didn't want to say anything because I thought I was weird with these, like, like God's like, I feel like the Holy Spirit's taking me. Like, and I'm like, yeah, he is. Just go with it, And so we started talking, and we stayed. Now he does prayer every day on his Instagram and Facebook. It's just amazing to see. But me and him run into each other in the airport all the time because he works at JetBlue, and I fly way too much. I'm in the airport every week, and we text each other. Hey, I'm going to be in Logan. Hey, I'm going to be in Austin. He's like, because he lives in Austin, but he does the Boston to Austin flight. He's now retired, but he still flies. So we'd run into each other, and he'd be like, Marc, you won't believe it. I was sitting next to this lady, and I'm like, I believe it. He's like, God put us there, man, together to meet, and this is what we have going on. And I met this guy, and all this. So he's like, Marc, I haven't figured out. He goes, so he took a flight. He took a job on the flight, and I was there. Me and him were talking, and he was going to Paris to run the marathon.
Wow.
And I said, hey, man, have you figured out your situation in Paris? He goes, no, man, I have no idea. He goes, I have no clue what I'm going to do. I don't know how I got to get from here. I got to get to there. So his fellow worker working with him goes, dude, I've been to Paris like 100 times. He goes, you need to do A, B, C, and D. He's like, you got to go here. Then you got to go there. Then you got to take this train. He's like, I got a friend that can hook you up over here. And he's like, Marc, I said, I know. I said, you weren't even supposed to be working today, were you? He goes, no. I'm like, I wasn't supposed to be flying today, but I am. Me and you had this conversation about the marathon, so he could overhear it, and he could tell you, God put you and me both here for this specific reason. And it was just amazing. So these things happen so much, Kate, and it's just, once you open your eyes to seeing them, it's so just, it's amazing and strange at the same time.
Oh, it really is.
Really, truly strange.
It truly is incredible. And like I said too, to your mentality, your mindset every single morning, waking up with that, hey, what has happened, and now I can control what I can control and move forward. And I feel like so many people in our society nowadays, that's like the biggest thing, where it's like that, taking that victim mentality, or even just looking at their life. Hey, I don't love my situation, but you see so many incredible stories with so many people that have a situation that's worse than yours. And it's like, you have no excuse to complain. You have no excuse to not maximize your God-given gifts every single day.
The biggest thing is focus, right? People focus on a negative. When you focus on a negative, you're just going to get a negative, right? And focusing on, oh, life stinks, this is that. You are the only one that has the power to change it.
Yep.
Your decision is what changes it. If I don't want to be weak, I could walk out that door and go to the gym. I could do push-ups right here in my room. It's what I'm willing to sacrifice and what I'm willing to do is what I'm going to get out of it. Waiting for somebody else to open that door, it's never going to happen. How many people you think are going to open that door for me right now?
Zero.
I have to take responsibility and I have to do it. And once you train your mind to think that any situation you're in, reflect on every life. Like you just said, I didn't know how I was going to get to the Super Bowl. Well, guess what? You did, right? That was an obstacle. You overcome obstacles every day. So never let an obstacle stop you or even slow you down. Just know it. Yeah, there's an obstacle. All right, I don't have the money to pay my bill. You know how many people never had the money to pay their mortgage? Tons. But they always end up paying their mortgage or their car payment, right? You know what I mean? It always works out, right? These obstacles are just what they are. They're just an obstacle. You know, you can overcome those obstacles. And as soon as you realize that, it's like, I laugh at them. Like, I know this, like I got sick Thursday, man, and I missed the prayer breakfast. I missed on Saturday. I missed EA Sports, the thing. I missed the Hall of Fame luncheon. I had tickets, thousands of dollars worth of tickets to stuff, and I missed it. I'm not worried about it. It stinks that I missed it, but there was a reason I missed it, right? And there's always, it's just an obstacle, just another challenge. It's like, it wasn't meant to be for some reason. And I didn't go, so it's life is.
This is amazing connection, Marc.
Russ, I'm looking forward to it because I want to own the exclusive airing rights to Mobility Adaptive Sports. I want to own the exclusive rights to air adaptive sports globally. And I want to pay found organizations and I want to sell advertising. That's my goal in the future. Like right now, my focus with the Marc Network is to grow the community, get the 60 million people that control $1 trillion in spend here in the United States. 500 billion is subsidized by Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance.
You're listening to Wellness Jocks radio and podcast show. We'll be right back after the short break.
Are you on a weight loss journey and wondering if you're losing more than just pounds? At WellWeight, we know that weight loss isn't just about the scale. It's about your body composition. Did you know that popular weight loss medications, like GLP-1s, can result in significant muscle loss? While these medications may help you shed pounds, they can also reduce your strength and vitality. That's why understanding your body's unique makeup is essential. WellWeight helps you discover your ideal weight by focusing on what truly matters: your health, your composition, and your long-term goals. With cutting-edge insights and personalized tools, WellWeight empowers you to achieve sustainable results without compromising muscle or health. Take control of your journey today. Visit wellweight.com to learn how you can balance weight loss with muscle preservation and feel your best, inside and out. WellWeight. Transform your weight loss journey with knowledge and confidence.
Are you ready to take control of your health and tackle obesity head-on? At Tackle Obesity, we believe that with the right guidance and support, you can achieve your weight loss goals and lead a healthier, more fulfilling life. Our mission is to dramatically boost your odds of success by connecting you to a coach. With a dedicated coach by your side, you'll receive personalized guidance tailored to your unique needs, helping you make sustainable lifestyle changes. At Tackle Obesity, we emphasize setting realistic goals, making small, manageable changes to your diet and exercise routine, and being patient with yourself throughout the journey. Our community is here to support you every step of the way, offering motivation, inspiration, and accountability. Don't wait to start your transformation. Visit tackleobesity.com today to find your coach and join a community dedicated to helping you succeed. Together, we can tackle obesity and pave the way for a healthier future. Tackle Obesity, empowering you to achieve lasting health and wellness.
At Optimal Age, we believe that aging is a journey to be embraced, not a destination to be feared. Our mission is to enhance the health and well-being of seniors by offering a comprehensive range of specialized services tailored to meet your unique needs. Our offerings include J-Plasma Skin Tightening, a minimally invasive treatment that rejuvenates your skin, helping you look and feel younger. Regenerative Medicine, innovative therapies designed to restore health and vitality, addressing various conditions to improve your quality of life. Cognitive Renewal Therapy, comprehensive programs aimed at enhancing memory, attention, and cognitive skills, supporting mental sharpness as you age. Advanced Diagnostics, thorough assessments to identify health concerns early, allowing for personalized treatment plans. Age Optimization Treatments, customized approaches to help you maintain optimal health and independence. At Optimal Age, we envision a future where seniors are empowered to live their best lives, staying healthy, independent, and connected. Our dedicated team is here to support you every step of the way. Embrace the journey of aging with confidence and grace. Visit OptimalAge.com to learn more about how we can help you achieve your health and wellness goals. Optimal Age, enhancing the health and well-being of seniors.
Are you on a weight loss journey and wondering if you're losing more than just pounds? At WellWeight, we know that weight loss isn't just about the scale, it's about your body composition. Did you know that popular weight loss medications, like GLP-1s, can result in significant muscle loss? While these medications may help you shed pounds, they can also reduce your strength and vitality. That's why understanding your body's unique makeup is essential. WellWeight helps you discover your ideal weight by focusing on what truly matters: your health, your composition, and your long-term goals. With cutting-edge insights and personalized tools, WellWeight empowers you to achieve sustainable results without compromising muscle or health. Take control of your journey today. Visit wellweight.com to learn how you can balance weight loss with muscle preservation and feel your best, inside and out. WellWeight. Transform your weight loss journey with knowledge and confidence.
Globally, it's 1.8 billion people are affected by mobility disability. That's bigger than the population of China. So we're not talking a small community. We're talking a huge community. These corporations and companies spend $300 million on digital advertisement, focusing on my group, and we'll get a targeted group together, and it'll be much more efficient for fraction of the price. Number one. Number two, globally, people with mobility and disabilities control $13 trillion in spend. Okay. Their loved ones in the community that services them.
Sure.
This isn't just, and you have to be financially profitable to be able to make a difference. It's just a fact. You can't rely on, and that's where we're a digital advertising marketing platform is what we are, right?
Okay.
We're going to charge companies accordingly to advertise directly to our community of people with disabilities.
Great
But it's
idea.
a win-win. It's a win for the community because now they get to see these products that exist. I get stopped so much. Where did you get that product? Where did you get that leg? Where did you get that wheelchair? Where did you get that? I've never seen that. I'm like, I've had it for 10 years. But it's sad because Abilities Expos, there's 7 of them a year. They're in 6 states, 7 cities, because Texas has 2. What happens to the other 46 states? I mean, the other 44 states. When there's 6 states that get these. The other 44 states, what, nobody with disability lives there? No. And you talk about building facilities and getting people back to work. I've been building this for over 13 years in my head, almost 13 years. The disability cities, President Trump, like him, don't like him, whatever, I don't care. He made a comment that stuck with me one time that I saw on the news. What if we took 1% of federal land and we built 6 new cities? What? And he's like, I would take suggestions on people on what type of cities we should build. I would love to get to him or somebody in government to say, why don't we build a disabled city, like a disability city? And I hate using that word, but whatever. Like everybody is like politically correct. I'm not politically correct. I'm the most unpolitically correct person. Because if it doesn't come from hate or anger, I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what you call me. Call me disabled. If you're not meaning to be rude, I don't care. Right. Number
Again,
one.
my roommates, they were the Crips. You call somebody a cripple today, in Germany, they'll put you in jail.
That's insane. I know. So imagine building a city and taking individuals with disability challenges, right? Like, what if we had catheter machines in handicap bathrooms, right? With all different types. And how we do that is, no, I'm just saying, right? So widen the hallways, widen the sidewalks so people in wheelchairs could bypass each other. You build houses that have first floor bedrooms for the individuals, but they can still have second floors, right? Right. Every house should have every house built in this city needs to have a first floor or alternative exits to elevators, right? We can create a spiral ramp just like a parking garage, and put that next to a house or a building and make these in an emergency situation. We could build these houses, have Coke, have Pepsi, have General Mills.
Please no, they're killing our people.
I know, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I've been dealing with the disability of obesity, and diabetes is directly result from ultra processed foods.
All day,
100%.
But what I mean is, we have corporations and companies that have.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
The other part is, Marc, I will tell you. There is a future coming very quickly. And Trump and Musk are talking about it. The introduction of autonomous robots is going to take menial tasks out of the economic equation for thousands and tens of thousands of companies. It is far easier to buy in Musk's case, he wants to lease you a robot for $8,000 a year, right? Versus a human being. Now, people are going to rave, but they're going to rage about that. So the reality is we have to readdress what it means to be a human, because quite honestly, God didn't put us on earth to work. He put us on earth to care for each other. Now, that comes down, you got to do something to care for each other. But at the end of the day, menial tasks is not what we're meant to be. That's not what we are. And it's nothing wrong with envisioning a future that is beyond that, and that's really what I would add to your vision, is the incorporation of able-bodied who have that awareness in that, because just a community of disabled, it isn't what you want, right? It's not what you're envisioning, right?
Not what I'm envisioning at all.
I get that. Look, I get
just the ability to have the functionality.
Yes.
Like my wife could go to work if she had a caretaker within her office building that could get her food, feed her, take her to the restroom, because she can't take herself to the restroom and undress her. But imagine if you had a 6-story building, right? And you had 12 companies that occupied that. Yes. And each one maybe had 2 people with similar disabilities to my wife working. She's more than capable of answering a phone with, boom, and hey, how can I help you? Customer service. Well, let me direct you to the right person. She could do data entry. She could do all this different stuff. But the problem is she needs somebody when it's lunchtime to get her food physically out of the refrigerator and put it, like if it's a robot or if it's a person. But that one person in that building that does that for those 6 people or 12 people, they can all meet in one cafeteria with able-bodied people. And that one person just fetches their lunch, eats up their lunch. Yeah. As they need to go to the bathroom, they just hit a button. The caretaker comes up. Oh, medication time. They have their medication. Sure. One person is paid by 12 companies that occupy, and the 6 people that work there with disabilities, right? Yeah. Those companies pay that one caretaker. It's a part of the process. It's divided cost, lowers the cost for each company. Yeah. But now that person with the disability has a resource there. It's a simple solution. And it's also about the office build out. But again, it's working side by side by able-bodied people, but the sidewalks are a little bit wider. The parking's a little bit different. And if we're starting with a brand new slate, We
Right.
can design that if you include the people that face these challenges and we do these adaptive stuff. Imagine a world where, like you said, it's not just amputees or wheelchair users or CP or it's like a world of people as well. But the city is mapped out to accommodate us. Now we're back to work. Now we're paying taxes. We're no longer living off the government, right? We're providing, we're living our healthy lives, because mentally that's huge for somebody with a disability, being
Yes.
able to be out there. So that's a great world for wheelchair providers. That's a great world for prosthetists.
There
That's
you
a
go.
great world for health and wellness facilities and vitamins and companies, because we're the people that need that.
You mentioned wellness, and I want to put a little pitch in there. I own a wellness company, and we're building out a network of wellness facilities that are specifically around musculoskeletal and neurological issues. As though that layer, you mentioned physical therapy, which is a big piece of that layer. But that layer now more and more is able to be addressed using devices that are very effective. I don't know. Have you had much hyperbaric oxygen?
Hyperbaric chambers.
Yeah,
I don't have that worry. I had a veteran down at Walter Reed, him and his wife, David and his wife. He had a neurological disorder that he couldn't touch, hypersensitivity, couldn't touch anything. Don't touch me. Nervous wreck.
right.
Guy couldn't put on socks. His foot would hurt. Couldn't put on shoes. Right. Couldn't shake your hand because pain would be substantial.
Wow.
He couldn't push
Wow.
his chair. So I got him one of these little powered wheelchairs that his wife could fold up and put in a vehicle. So she was strong enough to. They wanted to give him this big wheelchair. He's like, my wife can't move it. I don't have a vehicle for it.
Yeah.
He saw mine. And he was blown away. So I reached out to the company. They sent him one for free.
Wow.
Right. So this guy, the last day I met him, was leaving Walter Reed. I was walking in.
Wow.
His wife and him stopped.
Oh, he's a veteran?
He was a veteran. So David, he goes, I'll meet you at the car. And he drove off in his wheelchair and he got in the elevator and he went up. And his wife just started crying in this parking garage to me, who I've known. They loved my dog. They loved my service dog. They were big dog people. They ended up getting a dog for him, but because of my dog. And she's like, he's going to kill himself. And I said, what? She goes, he's going to kill himself. They told him there's nothing else they could do for him. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say. Right. She said, so I ran into her months later. She was standing outside the amputee clinic. He wasn't an amputee. He was just, it was a clinic. And she's standing there by herself. And I've never seen him and her separated until just when he went up by himself. That was the first time in a year. She sees me coming down the hall and she starts crying. And I'm like, oh God, he's dead. Right. She's like, oh my God. She's like, we danced. I'm like, this lady's crazy. She's crazy. She's lost her mind. She goes, we danced on our anniversary for the first time in, I think it was 5 years or something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, where is he? Where is he? She goes, he's in the pool. He'll be out in a minute. Just wait here, please. He'll be so happy to see you. I'm like, what happened? I'll let him tell you. And here he comes driving his wheelchair and he stops. First thing I noticed, he had shoes on. I'm like, what? And he started walking. So I walked and met him. He put out his hand. He goes, Marc, I'm David. Nice to meet you. And I shook his hand because normally, anybody tried to touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. She prayed the whole ride home, she said. When they got home, the phone rang. And they said, hey, we know we said we had nothing else, but John Hopkins across the street from Walter Reed in Bethesda had just called and they want us to do a swap program. And they want to know if we have anybody that would be willing to do this study on the hyperbaric chamber that they just received. And he said no. And she begged him and begged him and begged him. And finally he said yes. He did this intense hyperbaric chamber.
Right.
And then it just started getting better where she's showed me pictures of them dancing.
Wow. There you go.
Crazy. I was when I was driving home that weekend from Walter Reed, I was Googling hyperbaric chambers. I'm like, I got to buy one of these. If I never would have believed it, if I hadn't known him prior.
Wow. No, they're very powerful. And frankly, hyperbarics can benefit anyone because really what you're doing is you're super oxygenating the blood
Blood.
and the plasma. And so every cell is being nourished. One of the side effects of that is, cancer does not like oxygen. It does not. So presumably there is some kind of anti-cancer effect. Who knows? But I'm not stating that as causal. But I do think giving our bodies everything they need will. We do know you can reverse the telomere shrinkage of your cells, which effectively lengthens your life, because essentially you're 75 trillion cells that work together to keep you going.
So there was a lawyer in Florida who, I think he was in Florida. This company said that they made a baby in a test tube, and he said, "Okay, well, I want to adopt that baby or whatever. Like, I'm fighting for guardianship or ownership of that baby because it doesn't have a parent." This lawyer, and so he debunked this medication, like this company, and all these research and science people in the biotech world, like, drew to him, like, "Thank you so much, because we've been working on all this stuff to prove all these different things, and here's this company beat us to the race, and we know they didn't beat us. Like, we know they didn't." Like, and so he debunked this baby's birth thing. And so this lawyer, so now he got into bioscience with like all these, different like all these different companies that are doing all these natural solutions and remedies, and they run like this biofairs, tech fairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Kidding. I'm glad we met. Glad you introduced me to Russ, and I would have loved to meet Rich.
Caden nailed it. This is truly a third generation relationship. I met Richard at the Super Bowl in LA. He told me, "Listen, I want to lose weight." And I had told him what I was doing with these NFL guys. He said, "Well, I want to do that." And he says, "Because I want to get married." And so he was 320 pounds if he was a nickel. And I said, "Well, sure." And, Richard lost 140 pounds. And he married Minnie. And he called me up and said, "Russ, I want you to be in my wedding as a groomsman." So it's 6 black guys and Russ. And Richard was at the front of the line. I'm at the end of the line, So I'll send you those pictures, Mark, because they're really priceless. Awesome. They're actually online. And that, that connection is what Caden is he's the love child of, if you will. And so you're just an extension of that. So when this all gets done and said, we're going to have done whatever we can within our lives to benefit others. And this has been a wonderful time to connect, 3 Men of Faith around not disability, but around possibilities. And, and life is, wellness is about, I like the word wellness versus health. Health is where you're at today, but wellness is where you're headed. So if you think about your wellness, that's my future track, right? And if you do things that benefit your wellness, that means my future will be more and more healthy each and every day. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I really look forward to.
You've been listening to Wellness Jocks radio and podcast show. Thanks for making your health the priority. We're here to support you every step of the way on your wellness journey. Take care, grow strong. Meet you next time with Russ and our guests here on the Wellness Jocks radio and podcast show. Keep pushing forward. You've got this.